My name is Luis Corral from the University of Bolzano in Italy. And the title of this talk is Software Development Processes for Mobile System. And this question that rises right behind is trying to figure out if the agile processes or the agile methodologies are really taking over the way we develop software for this domain. To develop mobile software, we have a number of frameworks that we can profit from. For example, for general purpose software like ISO models or SPICE, EMMI, all these models hold for mobile software, but we can note the fact that none of those models or quality frameworks was developed considering the mobile specific characteristics or limitations of this work. Just to put an example, what the users want in this domain, or what are the limitations of this execution environment, or the ecosystem, speaking of devices, intermittent networks, and other limitations. And also to take in mind what the application markets require. For example, in the previous presentation, we see some conditions or guidelines for Google Play. There are many. So if we take into account these quality drivers that we have in this domain, how can we develop these development practices, or how can we define these development practices that can close the loop between user satisfaction, market compliance, and suitability with this environment? Of course, we can use these models, but probably there are things that are not taken into account. So this is our first questions. What are the questions that will respond efficiently to this channel, to these challenges, and as a consequence will facilitate the development of high quality apps? This, of course, in the context of applications. There are a number of works in software engineering literature that propose different approaches to develop software for mobile applications. The majority of those works encompass agile practices, but there are also some other proposals like new product development engineering, spiraling, and some other plant-based methodologies. But generally speaking, the agile methodologies or the agile ground themes are the ones that are proposed in the mainstream. If we survey the literature in this specific area, in agile-based methodologies for mobile software development, we will find something like this after choosing, discarding, and analyzing what is in literature. We'll end up with around 5, maybe 6, if we are a bit more flexible, methodologies that take the agile principles or that take the agile ground methods as the most convenient or the most suitable solution for mobile applications. The first approach was this methodology MobileD in 2004, and back from that time to now, there are some other methodologies that we can see that, let's say, the research timeline of evolution that we've been witnessing in this area. As we can see in the last in this last methodology probably here is not purely agile inspired. They also take they profit also from non-agile practices. There are details in the paper about each methodology. Probably it will take forever to describe every single one, but we can see that there is like a development or a timeline in this arena. So after making a comprehensive analysis of these methodologies, we took away four topics for discussion. Of course, we agree the review methodologies take the agile framework or the agile principle to create software processes for mobile applications. They claim that agile is the best fit. But let's discuss about the real suitability of agile methods in this environment. Second, the contribution of agile methods to the quality of the final product. The real use of the proposed methodologies is the industry or is research using them. And finally, what are the new conditions that are present now in the mobile environment that were not even existing back in 2004. So just describing individually everyone. The first one, are agile methods the best fit? If we review the market conditions or the environmental conditions of the mobile market, we will see that the mobile market is very high-paced. We have new models every year and thousands of applications in the market, billions of users, as we review in the keynote. So we need to move fast as software developers on this arena. So agile practices allow being flexible and adapting processes to these fast and unsteady needs. So agile methodologies provide this flexibility to understand the market and keep up the pace with them. The second question, is agile impacting the final product? After reviewing these methodologies, we conclude that at this level of abstractions, it's difficult to sustain this claim. Of course, the authors of these research papers deem or claim that the agile principle or the agile framework as a whole contributes to the quality of the final product. But at the level of abstraction of a process, it's difficult to know how can we impact the final product with a process. Of course, good processes will lead to good products, but for example, if I want to create a software application for that is going to use heavily the network, or is going to use the GPS continuously, it's difficult to find the answer if I can choose MobileD or Scrum or software or Scrum Lean Six Sigma. At this level of abstraction of processes, it's difficult to know if the product will be benefited out from that. They have a great focus on what should we do, but let's focus on how should we implement. Of course, there are development guidelines and other best practices that we can also find. In literature, but at level of abstraction of software processes, there is no evidence. The next question, and one of the most interesting ones, that also is the root of our subtitle in this talk. What is the evidence of use of these agile methodologies? Unfortunately, it's poor. If we see all the methodologies that have been proposed through the time, and all the case studies or evidence of real implementation, we can see that it's really poor. If not for MobileD, that has 16 case studies well documented and cited by 17 papers, all others are basically used by the same authors and present a single case study as part of the paper, or probably not even one. And we can see, so it's difficult to know if the methodologies as a whole are also serving the real world, the industry or companies that can profit out of them. There are field studies that survey how people, companies are developing software for the mobile environment, but the focus on methodologies is also very, very slight. They have comprehensive words about what is the target OS or what is the target device they are developing the most, time to market and some other interesting concepts, but they disregard the development processes. Of course, these development surveys that we can find also in the paper, they suggest a clear trend on shortening the development cycles, encourage iteration, and some other principles that we can trace back to Agile, but they are not citing specifically. We are using Scrum, we are using Scrum Lean Six Sigma, we are using some other thing, MobileD. And the last question is Agile and the evolution of the domain. Back in 2004, when the first methodology was proposed, probably the environment, the mobile environment was a different one than the one we are experiencing now. A decade of evolution in this arena has brought significant advancements, and some concepts like app markets or location-based services back in 2004, probably they were just emerging or probably did not even exist. So probably we need to catch up with that. As a summary of this survey, we can see that we miss a link between these proposed agile methodologies with what is really happening in a production setting. The agile methodologies themselves, they don't provide a real evidence of use, and the development surveys that go for evidence of use, they pay little attention on the software development process. So the question is open. Is Agile really adopted? Was it dismissed, or the business just create one on the fly? And of course, keep in mind that the evolution of the mobile environment may challenge some of the principles backing for upon which these methodologies were created. For example, they assume a non-critical product, or only for entertainment, only for communications. We see, especially in the keynote, that this is not true anymore. We have app critical, we have business, we have financial, we have healthcare. Let's say the environment is just different. As per request of our organizers, we have some takeaways or some concepts that we want to underline. So my takeaway is mobile requires agility. The market, the environment is very high-paced, and it really requires us to keep up and to move fast. So large, obese projects would not succeed in this dynamic world. But we can see that mobile can live without agility. There is no silver bullet, and even later approaches prove that Agile may fail short keeping up with the evolution of the market, and they have also asked for help for plant-based or other, let's say, manufacturing plant-based methodologies. So this is more or less what we have for today, and details on the paper, and this is my contact information. I will be more happy if you have questions.
Thank you. Please.
Just comment on your view on how the processes such as Agile and Scrum can help on implementation. I think the process, in general, process provides limited guidelines for implementation, so that in terms of the impact on implementation, we ought to say look for modeling methods, design patterns, and architectural tactics, etc., rather than processes.
Exactly. And just completing this reflection, as part of this work, we also survey and discover another family of works or another set of works that specifically concentrates on the design practices, implementation guidelines that are like one step below the software process. It's more in the implementation part. And this is also part of the scientific literature, and also development guidelines from the application markets, from Google Play, from iOS Store, and some others. You have another question?
Yeah, so I know that you were focusing on Agile and trying to see if they used Agile, and I know that I guess you're probably early and you're looking at what the literature says and not, what are they really using?
Yes.
What do they use? Do they have any processes? Do real organizations do anything?
In fact, in the development surveys that we were reading, they mentioned that software companies concentrate on mobile products. They try to shorten the time to market. They try to consider, of course, the environmental limitations, but they don't put some focus, or they don't pay attention about if there is some development framework that they are using in mainstream. So in order to know what they are really using, we need to develop some comprehensive survey or some additional analysis that we will start later this summer with different companies at different scales, small, medium, large. We'll start serving some companies in Latin America to see exactly, at least to sample what are they using, and exactly try to answer with this. Is Agile really adopted? Was it totally dismissed? Or if the business had to create one ad hoc process framework or development framework?
Because it almost seems to me that they've taken the mobile app market has taken the DevOps concept almost to the extreme, in the sense that their development, and I mean they just, at least from the amount of updates that you get per week for an application, almost seems like they put it out there, and if somebody finds a bug, well, it's just so easy to release a new one that who cares?
Yes. And the thing is that when you are a developer who is doing some small application or probably a simple game, probably your focus will not be to have a comprehensive development process. But in the other hand, if you are developing an earthquake monitoring system or a safety critical system, a healthcare system, probably you will start caring because of federal regulations or because of domain-specific guidelines that you have to meet. So in that, let's say in that domains,
Mhm.
probably the processes may be the difference.
We'll see. Please.
If the functionality is highly complex, will the agile process be suitable for that case?
I couldn't get the question. Could you rephrase?
If the application provides highly complex functionalities like enterprise level applications, do you think that the agile process is suitable for that?
Probably it may be. It will depend on the case. But for example, some methodologies like Scrum, they are like high paced, but they also encourage iterations. So in order to achieve this complexity, probably one iteration will be not enough. So you will need more, and your time to market will increase. But the thing is that you need to tailor, for example, also to analyze or to find out about complexity or let's say robust processes for robust products. This sort of methodology, Scrum, Lean Six Sigma, they take a statistically controlled quality also to analyze the product. So probably it may be another approach where functionally complex project can also suite into these methodologies.
Just a quick question. Do you think we need a different sort of processes for service-based systems?
Spatial.
I mean, service-based system, CPS. I mean, do you think there is a demand for devising different process models for different types of systems? Such as,
I would say that probably yes, but it would need like analysis in more detail. Okay.
Thank you again.
Thank you very much.